Okay, so I removed the idle control valve. That's it right there. And as you'll notice, one end was completely cracked, so this hose needs to be replaced. This hose I'm going to replace. The fitting that this connects to, the O-ring is just done. It's flattened out. So that needs to be replaced. The connector that holds this in place was loose, and it was so rotten when I went to go take this off, it just broke. And I actually can't remember where it connects. Right there. That's where it connects in and sits in there. So this is leaking. That's a problem. And if you'll listen to this, you don't hear anything. Should sound kind of like a mild cowbell, but it's making no noise, so it's stuck. And based on its age and how dirty it looks on the outside, I can only imagine how bad the inside is. I don't know if the clean's going to do anything, but yeah, that thing is shot. In addition, this hose that goes from the valve cover to the side vacuum port on this connector, which sits like that, is supposed to plug in here. Well, this hose is the wrong type of hose, and I remember when I installed it, it fit tighter at the time, and I was able to push it on, but I didn't have any zip tie or anything on here to kind of close that up like I was able to here, because it was easy access. So there's a leak here. So all those issues are contributing to my idle problem, and once I replace all those parts and put it back in and clean all this crap up, because it's dirty as shit here, we'll see how she runs, and I'll let you guys know. Okay, so I took the hoses off so you guys could see inside here. It's a little difficult, but it's definitely dirty. Pretty nasty in there. I want to spray some throttle body cleaner in here. Some people say they've used MAF sensor cleaner, but MAF sensor cleaner is incredibly expensive. It's like almost $10 for a can. I'm not going to waste that on this. I'm going to save that for my precious sensitive MAF sensor. Never use anything else on your MAF sensor except MAF cleaner. But throttle body cleaner is about half the price of MAF cleaner, and it was buy one get one at Auto Parts. So I'm going to spray that in here, try to clean it up real good, and see if I can get that a little bit of a rock back, because still nothing. So. There it is, the mild cowbell sounding sound. I guess you got to rotate it this way. I was shaking it like this and you still don't really hear anything, but I can feel it in my hand rotating, whereas before I felt nothing. But if you look in there, I don't know if the camera can catch it, you can kind of see it moving in there. I can feel that with my hand. In order to loosen that free, I sprayed it with the intake cleaner, and I was getting nothing. So I knew I wanted to smack it against something. Rather than doing it on the concrete, I went ahead and I just hit it against a tree, and I smacked it this way, that way, and finally I heard a knock. And so I kept playing with it, and about 5 minutes after spraying in both of the inlet holes, trying to get it deep in here, try to get on that side, let it drain out, and hitting it, we got the rattle. So we might be okay for a little while, because it's moving freely in there. I'm going to go ahead and reattach it to the car after getting the hoses in and see what happens. Also, this is what I use. Throttle body and intake cleaner. I use the CRC brand. You can pick this up at any auto parts store. I bought this at Advanced Auto Parts. Alright, I wanted to show you guys this because I wasn't sure how this worked myself, and maybe this can help somebody out. It appears in this car everything's mechanical. In my E36 it's electronic, but in here we've got a mechanical linkage that goes to the throttle, the accelerator pedal, and when you push on it, it moves this linkage that will move the flapper inside here. Well, normally this thing is completely closed. You see that? It's shut. So if my idle control valve is clogged, no air can get into the engine. Alright? That's why it dies immediately, and that's actually why my car wouldn't even start until I opened this up all the way. I floored it, and then we could get some air into the engine for combustion, because you need air, fuel, and ignition along with compression for the engine to start. So once I got to fire, that's why it would start up and then it would die. I had to feather the pedal so that the engine could breathe. You see how it's opening? So that it could start up. Now this is the traction control module. This part of the traction control system, if it detects that it needs to kill the engine, that flapper will start to close to cut off fuel to the engine for safety reasons. That sits in front of this flapper. So this was open, that was closed, and the ICV was clogged, and that's why the car wouldn't start. Just want to show, look how loose it is now. That is insane. Like there was nothing before. Hope I'm not breaking it. Hopefully only making it better, breaking up more shit.